as a senior colleague, as a senior bros, he knew the end, right, of something I was just starting from. I'm getting emotional, guys. I'm getting really emotional. I'm getting really emotional. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry, guys. This is the part of me that people don't know. So I'm also like a very emotional person, right?
All right, let's get your own slice of the pie from the visa struggle, flight tickets, your plan, execution, expectation, and reality. Everything, food, transportation, accommodation, hold nothing back. You have 30 minutes.
I can't speak for 30 minutes, but yeah, I feel like this was wishful thinking for me. AFCON was always wishful thinking. From the moment I went to the African Cup of Nations last year, January, I put it in the back of my mind that the next one was going to be making sure I was consistent, right? Because I feel like I introduced myself to a new audience and give my brand a new look by making sure I made it to the African Cup of Nations by all means last year, and people were really looking forward to me doing some of these international travels back to back. I felt disappointed a couple of times that I wasn't able to live up to the expectation by going to the camp of the Super Eagles, some international breaks, because I wasn't able to like fund it fully. You know, as a freelancer, there are days when very, very good. There are days when things are just quiet. So I remember I used to like tell my sister that I don't know how it feels when people come to my page during international breaks and they don't see anything. Makes me feel really sad sometimes. The fact that, oh, this guy don't introduce us to one kind of vibe, Super Eagles kind of thing, and then international breaks and it's just there posting other things. So I used to feel like, oh, it's fine. The time will come. You know, I've been building to this moment. I've done lots of stuff, and I feel like when the time comes, it's going to happen. For WAFCON, I didn't see it coming, to be honest. Like, honestly, I didn't know it was going to happen. As at last year, as at January, I feel like the one that I even felt was coming more was Chan, because Chan was supposed to be January, February. And I have a friend that has a podcast that is centered around the MPFL. So he's my friend. So we basically just do things, right? I just support his brand. No financial commitment to everything is what I'll do, what I want somebody to do to me, right? So sometimes I take my camera, record this podcast, edit for free, just take care of logistics. Any day I can, I'll take care of it by myself. And so we had plans that, oh, to move this brand forward, you need to be at the forefront of MPFL content at the Chan tournament. So he told me to apply for Chan, and then I did. I applied for the Chan tournament in that's supposed to take place in Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda. So I already applied for that. So eventually, the CAF moved the tournament to August. So after that, I just knew that, oh, okay, whatever happens by then, we'll see how it goes. But the main one was AFCON in December. I need to make sure that I don't miss it, right? But then February came, got a new job. Then along the line, Glider scored. And I feel like that was also a different moment for me. That was also like the start of probably another kind of set of working relationship. I've always known that Bros is that is somebody I want to that is someone I want to work with. We have um, we have a respect relationship from afar, right? Because of his style of storytelling. So I didn't grow up on this is probably the first time I'm telling him this. I didn't grow up on radio. So I wasn't a radio person. So whenever people say, "Oh, your days on this, your days on that," I can't relate, to be honest, because I wasn't really a radio person when I was growing up. I was a sports person. I was reading newspaper a lot of the time. I was a commercial student in school, but I was being called journalist because I was buying a newspaper every day. So I used to buy newspapers to school every day from whatever allowance I was given. So sports was always a thing for me, but it was not radio. I wasn't because now when I get to speak to journalists, they always tell me how much of their passion started from radio. It was never like that for me. I would always probably tune in once in a while to if I'm bored, probably listen to music, drive time shows, maybe Wazobia and all of those guys. But I was not really a listening to commentary this. So I didn't really know his days on Brilla, right? This is I'm not going to do eye service, or I didn't really know his days. All I knew was when Legbete TV started to cover Fusion League. It was Fusion League, and it's Surulere League. I think it was sponsorship that made it turn to Fusion League and all of that. So there's a name for it. And I had a friend, a footballer, Robert Odu Jaguar. We met in school. He was a law student, so I used to document his journey from school days because I was on radio, and then I started like a little blog in school. So this is all like backstory to WAFCON, right? So you guys don't stay disconnected too much, because a lot has gone on this channel of him giving me my flowers all through this WAFCON, and I just feel like as the kind of person that I am too, I need to like also like give the flowers and tell how all of this began. So Jaguar used to get projected a lot while playing for Starbase through Elegbete TV, and that was how the journey began. So eventually I got on Jaguar's team as his media rep. He signed with Remo Stars in 2020 after school. Didn't play too much because of COVID, and then he traveled to Happy Valley in Hong Kong. So eventually, when he traveled to Happy Valley, Emmanuel Sebastian was doing things with Elegbete TV. There was also Kalejai that used to record Jaguar in Fusion League, right, while with Starbase. So when Jaguar came back after his first pro season outside the country, as his media guy, he said he brought a couple of jerseys and said he needed to pay respect to a couple of people that played a very vital role in his journey up until that moment. So I got my jersey, and then he said, "Oh, we are going to Aja or somewhere around that area to make a visit to the Elegbete TV radio," because he had to. Also, while he was in Hong Kong, Emmanuel had also interviewed him for a show that I used to do for, I think, Niger bowlers. Is focused about Nigerian footballers outside the country. So he had told me that he wants to visit. So we then made that trip, and I didn't know honestly what I was doing. I just had a vision of documenting things. This is me being honest. Like, I didn't know what the end goal was for Jaguar or for player recording or whatever. I just knew like what branding is supposed to be for a player. I just want to tell stories, right? I'm just a very visual and creative person. That is, I think in pictures, I think in creative processes. So I just knew that, for example, it was me that actually reached out to Jaguar, right? I just reached out to him and say, "Oh, guy, my phone spoiled after you signed out, and I saw that you signed for Remo Stars. How about I just come to Remo Stars game and start documenting your games?" He then reached out to his agent, Femi Falako, and Femi said, "This is exactly what we need at this point in time. Somebody that can do this for you." And then that was how that journey started. So that time I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew that, okay, Jaguar is back from his first this thing. Even my skill level was not even this professional. They're just like, just carry your camera and just follow this guy. Documenting Jaguar is back. He went to pay respect to this so and so person. So when we got to the studio that day, I took some very shallow videos. I took pictures. So the pictures were very nice because I was a photographer. So the pictures were very nice. And then Edafe spoke to me and said, "You don't know the value of these things you are currently doing to this guy. So if in years' time this eventually comes as a full circle, people will say, oh, this guy is just living his life for Micolo, he's giving his life for Micolo." They will not know that on the days when it was just him doing stuff, you were the one that was there. And that really like resonated with me. And it was at that moment I figured his angle is also my angle. So he saw the, as a senior colleague, as a senior bros, he knew the end, right, of something I was just starting from. I'm getting emotional, guys. I'm getting really emotional. I'm getting really emotional. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry, guys. This is the part of me that people don't know. So I'm also like a very emotional person, right? So he knew the end from what I was starting with Jaguar, and that just gave me like extra motivation to keep going. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know where I was going. I was just doing it, guys. Like, I just knew that since we're gonna fall into place, Jaguar kept going, and bros, I just kept seeing him from afar and all of that, and I just say, "Oh, we're gonna work together someday," and he said that, and I didn't know when it was gonna happen. This visit happened 2021. This visit happened 2021, and from there, it was just like, keep doing your thing. I was just doing my thing on the side. He was doing his own thing. I was seeing him online. Very bold opinions. I respect that. We might not always agree on some of the opinions, but he has very bold opinions, and that's my unfiltered opinion of him, right? So, but that has never stopped my admiration for the storytelling. And just like he has always said, he has disagreements with lots of people, but when the work has to be done, it has to be done, and that's one thing that I really respect about him. So when eventually time went on, there was nothing happening, and this is also like advice to people, right? Just do your thing. I've always told people that life is like a puzzle. You do one bit here, you do one bit here, you do another bit here. You don't know when it's going to come together, right? I started on radio. I bought my first camera, started doing pictures, started doing this. I didn't know anything was going to eventually come full circle to this. Went to the studio. Okay, so after that, I think in 2023 or somehow, I went to the studio for the same reason again. This time for a different person. I was not collecting money, guys. This was not a money relationship. This was a documenting, storytelling thing. So there's another person. His name is Olayinka Adiro, right? So Adiro signed as coach. So I knew Adiro. He went to Unilag. He did MSc Unilag. We met in Social Liga. He found me interesting. I was working for a different club entirely. He was working for a different club. I was working for Saints as the media officer. Adiro was the coach of 96 champions. Eventually, he got signed to Atlantic Business, and he said, Michael, I want you to help me with my branding, my social media, and all that. And I said, fine, let's do it. You don't have money to pay me, but let's just build, right? So on the day when, because of the branding thing, on the day when he was going to sign, he said, Micolo, you have to come on along with me. We are going to Edafe Studio all as well, because Kalejai, there's also like a bit of partnership right there. And then I went, entered the car again, far to Aja. I was there with my little Nikon D3300 that I bought, saved my money, 150K, and just it is that documenting that was on my mind. So I went to the studio. I think it was not around that day. It was maybe I don't think it was around. He was not in the country, I think. So Adiro signed. Kalejaya was there. There was also Momo. I think Momo was also like the GM then. So we also did that storytelling. And then I think that was the day I also saw. I think Femi was there, right? And that was the day I also saw like a chair that was in the parlor, right? Had like so many books. Like it was up to like upper 150 books, and then it was not finance books, guys. It wasn't motivational books. It was stories, for example. And that day, I wish I could like kidnap books, to be honest, because those are they say readers are leaders. I don't read so many motivational books. My life is a motivation on my own. I'm the first child, first grandchild on both sides. My life alone is motivation for me. So I don't read like too many motivation. But you see, when it comes to storytelling, somebody telling their stories, I saw Alex Ferguson's book, I saw Arsene Wenger's book, and all of that. So I was really like enticed about the whole storytelling thing, and then that was really cool. So fast forward to 2024, we saw at the LBA League Bloggers Awards dinner, and Baba 54 Football X owner had contacted me and say, "Oh, you used to do reporting for us." So this is another pointer to people that are also coming up. Don't limit yourself. You can be anything you want to be. So before now, I used to think it was a problem for me, but now I've discovered that it's also like a very big advantage. I started with radio broadcasting. I've done TV. I've done writing. I started a blog in Lag. I've done social media in Lag. I used to do in Lag Sports Republic, capturing with my phone and all of that just to report. Go on tournaments with them where they will not even pay me. Photography is there. There's videography. There's content creation. There's editing, right? So Baba, I've been doing stuff as content creator for Baba. Then up that season, right? Sporting Lagos was in the league, so I was reporting MPFL for 54 Football X there at the stadium, and then Baba just hit me up with, "You are going to be hosting the green carpet, right, for the dinner." And then I spoke to my friend, my very close friend, probably my best friend, Arokuto, and said, this one I'm going for, I want to like stand out, right? I'm very big on image, big on branding, and I remember myself and my friend went to a co. I had a suit. I had to get the inners and make sure like I was stepping properly. You know, I'm beyond just a journalist. I've always told my friends when they say, "Oh, why are you wearing studs? You are wearing this one. You are doing that one." I said, coming into the MPFL, this is not to shade anybody, right? I discovered there are two classes of journalists in the league, right? They are the as a photographer coming into the NPFL when I started in probably 2019 or 2020, there are the people that the players will come and say, snap us for 500 naira, 100 naira, and then you just tell me, we are legends, we've been here for how long, right? This is not a slight on them. The economy is affecting so many people. But there's also the class of journalists where there's Debola Adebanjo, there's Tolu, there's this lady as well. I've forgotten so many. So there are Nigerian people that are also doing things on the grand stage that are also taking their branding seriously, that are dressing very well. Do you understand? And I realized that I went to University of Lagos. I'm a superstar in my own right, right? And the people I started, people that when I was in school, I was very popular for sports, right? So I discovered that the people that we were popular together then in other spheres, if you see them now, you call them celebrities. There's Toby Shang, there's Ashakine, there's Magix. Magix is now signed to Don Jazzy's record label, he's signed to Mavins. There's Big Bimi doing tours, currently in Paris, doing stuff for Red Bull and all of that. Why must the sports people be at the back end? Why should I start dressing down because I'm doing sports? When I was in school, these are guys that we are in the social circle together. These are people that were doing influencing gigs together. So because I chose the sports route doesn't mean I have to be down. So if I step up to you, just realize that if I wanted to be an host, if I chose to become a host, if I chose to become an entertainer, I'll probably be very big. If I wanted to become a DJ, there's DJ Titanium right now, is running things at Mainland Block Party. There's Tolu Daniels. These are guys that when they see me, they know that Micolo is doing things in sports. So I need to also play the part. I also have to represent the sports industry in a way that shows that we are not paupers. Yeah, because I chose to do sports doesn't mean I should be dragging slippers all around the stadium. So I came into that event, that dinner. I wanted to make a statement. Wore my bought that art, the Iron Right art. Wore my green shirts, and I really stepped. And I knew I was very confident about the way I was looking. I was making interviews, talking to Ozo, Big Brothers, talking to Mutu Adepoju, and that dressing really gave me confidence. And then here comes the man again, Edafe. Then I interviewed him. I called him the Balotelli of Nigerian sports. And then he looked at me and said, what are you saying? But then we spoke, and then he commended the way I was looking. And that also like inspired confidence, and said that he liked the way I was. We really need to work. We have to find a way to work one way or the other. And so that was backstory. I don't know how many minutes I've gone. I don't, I didn't think I was going to talk this much. So yeah, now fast forward to this year, right? Gliders came and then he called and said, "Oh, we have this thing to do together. You have to do BTS and all of that, and you don't have to do too much. Just come." But it's Micolo, guys. The way I see myself, my reality might not be matching that right now, but there's a mental image, right? That's the thing about as a creative. I have I have a vision. I have a visual representative of myself right now than what you're seeing, right? So you might just see me as a camera guy, a guy that I see, but I have a mental vision of what I am, right? I watch Frimpong at Arsenal, I watch creative guys, and I know that these are creative ideas that I can't be doing. So if there's somebody that is doing that, that's where I need to be aligned to. If there's a club that is doing that, that's why my favorite type of clubs in the Nigerian league that you see me support are the kind of clubs that will take storytelling serious. Because if there's a club taking storytelling serious, that is where I need to be. If there's a man, if there's a team appreciating freedom of expression and creativity, that is where I want to be. It's as simple as that for me. No eye service, no too much, no fake humility, no too much respect or lack of respect. I'm as humble as it comes, but you see, going for goals, creativity, that's where I want to be, and that's me for you. So when I saw the idea and for gliders, and then I came on board, came for the photo shoots, and I'm always going to be stepping, my studs, freedom, whatever. And then I came and the photo shoot was good, and then I went on air, and then all of that is history. Now we're back to WAFCON. WAFCON, oh, Micolo and Joy, apply for WAFCON, right? I feel like we're going to be doing this. All right, that's really calm. Let's apply. I already have a channel. They are obviously going to give me. So I applied for the WAFCON with the accreditation. the fact that oh they're gonna give me, and then we continued our gliders, really dedicated to the gliders because it gives me a different side of myself. It allows me to express myself. Sometimes when I try to do that by my own self, I'm very critic of myself at home, and I'm not very consistent with my content creation when I want to like drop my ideas on things. But gliders gives me that freedom to just come in and just know that we have things to talk about. There are guys, very intelligent guys on the sets that are always going to challenge your mental processing, and you can always talk. There's Timothy, there's Sebastian Emmanuel, there's Joy. Joy's history with myself is a different one entirely. 2021 downwards, and that's like a different thing entirely. Then there's Sebastian. These are guys that happening guys in the industry, guys that have the mental things that you want to talk about. So it allows me to express myself. So when WAFCON opportunity came, we decided to continue. We're doing gliders on the side. I got a job with the football club, and then gliders with WAFCON came. We are now accredited don't show what's going on next, and that's it. That's where the doubts. That's where the doubts started, right? So I've realized because of the kind of person that I am, expectations run me mad. I've had some rejections in the last 2 years that almost made me break down, right? Some traveling expectations, I'm revealing it, probably masters, all of these scholarships and all of that. So in the last 2 years, because of the level of expectations on me, the weight of expectation, I've learned to like just take things as they come, right? So the advice has always been for me, take things one step at a time. Don't over imagine things. Because when you start to over imagine things, because I'm the kind of person that if you tell me we're traveling in October, I can tell you for a fact that every night I sleep, I imagine what October is like. I'm imagining what I'm going to be doing. I'm imagining the content I want to create. I'm imagining how I want to step out, what I want to look like, what kind of image, what kind of things I want to post on my socials. That's the kind of person I am. So I try to just limit my expectation in case it didn't happen, right? So my focus was just focus on the things at hand, things that were giving you money currently, your work, and then gliders. So I was just taking it one step at a time. And then bros kept updating. Edafe kept updating, send your passport, send this one. And then I was really excited for Joy also because um, Joy and Joy and I have some sort of history, right? We were friends during the time where our mom passed. So we were always on the call towards all of those hospital time and all of that. So when it was Joy in front of the project, a Joy win is also my win in an extent because we spent a considerable time praying that those things didn't happen, eventually happened, and then we just move on from that, right? So when it was Joy to be focused as the point of the whole tournament, I was very excited about that. So we kept updating, fast forward to visa issues, people started having issues and all of that. So I just kept the hope, told my mom that there's a possibility. I didn't even tell her initially because also didn't want to raise her hopes up because my mom is also that kind of person that is very excited about progress and all of that. So I just told her that well, something like this is happening. So I didn't tell her until like a week, a week to go. No, a week to the tournament starting. Like things are coming on. Oh, this is what's going on. People are having issues, but there's a possibility that I might travel to Morocco soon for that kind of tournament I went for, but this time by flight and fully sponsored. And she said no problem. So the visa issues, I kept praying and all of that. So we're just going to fast forward to the part where visa came. I was very excited. Joy, bros got, Edafe got. I got married, and Joy didn't get. And then it kept bothering everybody again. That what's going on? I knew in me that if Joy did not get a visa, the trip was not happening. Because also because of a creative person, from a creative point of view, I didn't see myself as coming as a cameraman to Edafe being the point of a women's tournament. It wasn't going to make sense for me, for him as well, right? For the image of the brand too. So Joy was already doing things on gliders, and it was also very important that she takes her place as a vocal point, a leader when it comes to women's football. So Joy started doing things in women's football, making giant strides, tagging on with Fatil. I think she also has a group chat with ladies in like the industry, and that's like a very big move. And we just needed it to happen for her, right? So I was just praying for Joy Zone. Eventually, when it came, now became we have finance finance issues were coming because now we had like probably just 4 days to book flights, and then I knowing what I know about flights is a lot, right? So I didn't start preparing for this journey until I saw flight tickets. That's the reality of it. And I also didn't have the money. So my friend that I've spoken about, Aro, my best friend, had some money in my account, and I just told him that, I can't give you this money back now. Let me just keep it in case this trip is happening, right? So when they now shared flight tickets, that was when I started my shopping because I needed to buy stores, buy food, buy things for camera, buy electronics and all of that. So that's how the whole thing for the journey started. Now coming into this journey, I made up my mind, guys. This is me being honest, that I wanted to lock in because for somebody to spend the amount of money and put their trust in you for the outputs is never is never a mean feat, right? Also, I also knew that I was capable of doing these things, but I've never like done it fully on full scale. I've always been very, very scared to like dive in fully. So, but this one, I just said, Micolo, you know what? This is it, right? This is I edit things. I know like I'm very good with storytelling. I've also gone for an African for a tournament. So you need to also repay this bro because he has spent a lot of money. He's putting in so much effort. I was telling practically everybody that this tournament I want to go for, I don't need any distraction from anybody, no talking to anybody, no this one. All of my friends know. So this is me actually like telling him to his face now that all of my friends know the impact of this journey. My mom, my everybody that matters, right? My mom, my sister, my friend Toby know that when I was coming to this tournament, I had it at the back of my mind that it was strictly just to work. Like, so all of this is not like I'm happy that I'm able to deliver, but also I knew what we had to like come here and do. So very exciting one for me. I'm very appreciative of the fact I'm feeling very joyous. I have joy inside of me because of the fact that the channel is growing. It's not just growing, it's also like positioning the channel as what we can deliver, what we are able to deliver, what is achievable. So we are able to pitch for more events, right? This is what is achievable. These are things that we can do. Then personally, this is what I can do. This is my place in this industry. I'm not just a newbie. I've been doing this, I've been doing sports since 2017, right? You don't look at me with those eyes, right? This is what I'm capable of doing, and I'm glad I'm making a statement. Also, I have to give a shout out to Edafe. Um, my friends have said it. Um, Very controversial person. I'm gonna say that, right? But I also feel like it's very important that people take lessons from what they've gone through. And I see it in him every day that the whole experience with the former workplace has really taught him to be very appreciative of people that he works with. And it's not, we don't take it for granted. I don't take it for granted. The fact that you never fail to shout us out every for every time like I record and then I'm behind. I told my friend 2 days ago, he said he has been seeing it. He has been retweeting on his timeline some of the things, the good things you've been saying about it. A couple of my friends have been saying. I said, I don't know how to I don't know how to react. So I'm always at the back of the camera and it doesn't occur that well, right? It doesn't occur that often that I'm just at the back of the camera and you're just like saying very like cute, good stuff about people, and I don't know how to react. That's why I like put my best. Like I abandoned every other project, right? I risk whatever it is that was going to happen, probably in my workplace, and just say I wanted to lock in, and it's really good. I'm very hopeful of this project. I like the freedom, I like the care, I like the creative freedom that comes with working. Yeah, on this trip, on this journey, I was very committed to this. I felt it in every bone. Even on days when I felt backache, back pain, I could physically feel it. But the mental strength to keep going came from the fact that I was working towards a goal and I had somebody that really appreciated it. So those are the kind of people you go to the ends of the earth or for. I know there are still going to be quarrels. Yes, it's going to happen. But I just know that there was even one before I came. There was one before we came for the tournament because I already put my budget. I already planned budget on that stuff. But then I was just praying, please don't do it, don't do it. But then he did it. And then I was like, ah! But then I was like, you know what? No, no, no. It's not about that. It's about the fact that discipline also helps. Discipline also helps you stay on track, right? And you need that. You need that as a creative, as somebody that needs direction, right? Because many people have talents, many people know things, many people film things. There's so many talented people. What limits some people sometimes is direction, not knowing somebody to just say this is what you should actually be doing, right? You have this talent, but this is, and they don't try to kill your talent. They don't try to make you feel like you're nothing. They identify your talents, they acknowledge the fact that you're very good, and then they now try to refine it and push you. That is very rare. I tell you, that is my message, right? That is very rare. If you see such people, hold on to them. People try to take advantage of that, and then eventually you now start getting defensive as a person because your pride as a person feels like, as a creative, I'm actually putting in work, oh, and I know this job. Don't make me feel that way. So I feel like it's also taking lessons from like previous employments and all of that. So really great working on this tournament. I've had fun. I've not I've not felt any form of regrets coming on this trip, right? I gave my all. I wanted to get spent. I wanted to leave here a happy man. And I'm glad with the things I created. I watch them on YouTube, on the TV, and I'm proud of it. Gives me joy. I was on a meeting earlier this morning, and the head of the team asked for how the tournament was because there's an argument on Twitter about being rewarded and all of that. And I'm like, for me, I'm glad I also found somebody that is also like me. Because when I was going to the AFCON, also all the events I go for, be it AFCON, be it MPFL games, I go to events I'm able to cater for myself, right? I don't rely on handouts or government is coming here, one kinikon. So he's also that kind of person, and I feel like that's where we match. I don't like to kiss ass, right? I don't like to. I have ego to an extent. Like I have good ego, right? So I believe in my work. I believe I believe I'm not confined to only one way of making money or only one way of pleasing somebody to make money. I believe I can fit into anything that gives somebody money in this creative industry of sports. I can do it and I'm going to do it. So you can only limit your part of you're giving handouts, right, to journalists that are writing stories that are appealing to you. If I don't appeal to you, I can also do content that is going to work out. So been a great tournament, enjoyed myself fully. I'm glad he's happy. I'm glad the investments paid off. I'm glad people are happy at the things we are doing. Thank you so much, guys, for resonating with our content. It's been very beautiful bringing this content to your screens. I want to assure you that if you continue on this journey with us, it's gonna be it's gonna be a very good one. You will love it. I want to assure you, and I'm committed to this. And if you continue this journey, you will love it. I'll continue bringing all of this to you. I hope you guys enjoy our beach vlog. People are saying lots of things, but yeah. You will love it. Film the stew. Film the Equale stew, the Yoruba stew. Thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk. I feel like this is the most I've spoken in years at a stretch. Yeah, but it's really nice to pour my heart out. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Interim producer, do you have other questions for me?
You got me crying. Get out of this place.
A grown man is crying. But guys, peace out. Thank you for rocking with us. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I'm very grateful to you guys. Thank you for validating my work, and I feel very happy. Subscribe to this channel, like, share, subscribe, comment. If you like me, just tell me you like me as well. I mean, it's not bad. Thank you guys for coming on our Morocco journey. It's a wrap. Peace out. Cut. I'm going to cut out by myself. If I want to continue talking, then let me continue talking. Thank you guys so much. Peace out.